All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, it's been a little bit more than 4 years since the NCAA introduced the transfer portal. And in my opinion, no sport has been impacted more than college football since the decision was made. Now, each year we are seeing more and more names being put into the transfer portal with young men looking to go to another program. This has forever changed collegiate athletics, especially football. Players, and of course, it's across all sports. Players no longer have to sit out a year in order to transfer from school to school. And it's really changed things. I mean, it's keeping, in my opinion, head coaches on their P's and Q's in some instances, as they basically have to go back and recruit some of these kids each year. It's easier for a player to leave a program if the head coach or the assistant coach that recruited said player has either left or gotten fired. And also, it's happened in the past. What if a coach lied to a player about his position with the program? All of this stuff, these are possibilities. These are things that have happened over the years, and now play student athletes, if you will, if you want to call them that, they have more leverage. But on the other side of the coin, some players have just lost a sense of competition, and I say that because we have some players who get beat out for a starting job because simply they're just not good enough, or the person that they're competing with is better. And instead of taking that challenge to heart in order to get better, these guys are going out there switching schools. But at the end of the day, the transfer portal has become like free agency in collegiate athletics, especially in college football and men's college basketball. And in the case of college football, when the quarterbacks hit the transfer portal, it could really reverse the fortunes of a program really quick. We've seen it, in recent years, and we're going to see it again because more quarterbacks have hit and are still continuing to hit the transfer portal from this season heading into 2023. For me, it's a lot of things. The way that the transfer portal is working, in my opinion, it's the equivalent of National Signing Day because some of these guys hit the market, if you will. um, it's one of those where they can go from one school, go to another conference, especially a conference that has not seen the player play, and they can go out there and take care of their business. Waste of space, what's going on, my man? How you doing? As always, pleasure. Definitely appreciate all of the feedback that you always give me. Trust me, it's definitely much appreciated, my man. And it's one of those where these guys can go out there and they can reinvent themselves. They can make another name for themselves. You name it, and it's going to continue to happen. One of the big names that we saw just enter the transfer portal, DJU from Clemson. He ended up at Oregon State. Sam Hartman, surprisingly, leaving Wake Forest, and he looked like he was going to be a lifer there as far as his collegiate career. But that is not the case, and this is what is happening with the game of collegiate athletics. It's changing between the transfer portal. Let's not forget the NILs as well, as these kids know that they can get money legally, and I don't blame them for getting every dime that they can get. So at the end of the day, the question is going to be posed: will the trend continue? I think the trend is going to continue. I mean, there, some political aspects about it as far as people trying to rein it in, but the cat is out of the bag, so to speak. And this is the way it is. If you're allowing coaches to transfer from school to school, to get a bigger payday, and some of these coaches are getting upwards of $10 million now, these kids have the opportunity to move around, secure their financial future, get more money for themselves if they have the opportunity to. And I think the transfer portal is just a part of it. So it's always about adjusting and adapting. And the NCAA, as far as the coaches go, especially in college football and men's college basketball, they're going to have to adjust and adapt like everybody else. I think some are doing it better than others, just like it always is the case. And typically, those are the coaches And those are the programs, if you will, that are a step above anyway. But nonetheless, I think the transfer portal is here to stay. It has definitely added a different narrative to collegiate athletics, a lot of excitement from it. And at the end of the day, the transfer portal is here to stay, whether you like it or don't, but you better get used to it. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the Sports Depot 365 on Facebook. One of the better sports debating sites going on social media. You can check it out, and you are more than welcome to be a part of it. Also, like I always said, I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but I will mention it again just in case. I'm on Twitter at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I said, if you follow me, it'd be my pleasure to follow you right back. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.